Greetings, history buffs. Welcome back to Past Historical Events, where we explore the pivotal moments that shaped our world. Today, we journey into the heart of the American Civil War, uncovering one of its most strategic and dramatic engagements, the Battle of Pea Ridge, also known as the Battle of Elkhorn Tavern. Fought on March 7th to 8th, 1862, in the rugged terrain of northwest Arkansas, this clash was more than just a military engagement. It was a saga of strategy, endurance, and the resilience of the human spirit. Picture the Ozark Plateau in early March 1862. The land was rough, wooded, and unforgiving. It was here, near Leetown, that the fate of Missouri and the Western theater of the war would be decided. The stakes were immense, and both Union and Confederate forces were about to engage in a battle that would leave an enduring mark on the Civil War. Leading the Union forces was Brigadier General Samuel R. Curtis, commander of the Army of the Southwest. His force of roughly 10,500 men, comprised of soldiers from Iowa, Missouri, Indiana, Illinois, and Ohio, was well-drilled and determined. Curtis was no ordinary commander. His background in the Mexican-American War had instilled in him a deep understanding of terrain and logistics. But this battle wasn't just about numbers, it was about positioning and strategy. Curtis meticulously planned his defense, utilizing Pea Ridge's natural rocky outcrops and dense forests to funnel Confederate forces into disadvantageous positions. His troops, especially German immigrant regiments, brought discipline and battlefield experience that would prove decisive. Opposing Curtis was Major General Earl Van Dorn, leading a force of approximately 16,500 Confederate soldiers. Van Dorn was aggressive, ambitious, and eager to reclaim Missouri for the Confederacy. His army was diverse, including Missourians, Arkansans, Texans, and a notable contingent of Native American warriors from the Cherokee Nation, led by Brigadier General Albert Pike. Van Dorn's strategy was bold. He aimed to outflank Curtis by marching his army around the Union position and attacking from the rear. However, his troops faced grueling conditions as they marched through the Ozark wilderness, enduring exhaustion and dwindling supplies. This logistical strain would become a significant factor in the battle. As the sun set on March 6, 1862, both armies prepared for the coming storm. The night was bitterly cold, and for many wounded soldiers, it was a night of suffering. Nature itself was proving to be an adversary. Meanwhile, Curtis, aware of Van Dorn's maneuvering, repositioned his troops in a rare night march to counter the Confederate advance. This repositioning proved crucial. Curtis was ready for Van Dorn's strike, setting the stage for one of the Civil War's most remarkable confrontations. March 7th opened with chaos. Van Dorn split his army into two columns, one under Major General Sterling Price attacking from the south, and another under Generals Ben McCulloch and James McIntosh targeting the Union right flank near Leetown. The fighting quickly turned into a brutal melee. In a tragic twist, McCulloch, dressed in a dark civilian coat, was mistaken for an enemy officer and shot dead by a Union skirmisher. Shortly after, McIntosh, leading a cavalry charge, was also killed. The loss of both commanders in rapid succession threw the Confederate right flank into confusion, severely weakening their advance. With Confederate forces in disarray, Curtis seized the moment. His artillery, strategically placed on high ground, used an unconventional tactic: ricochet fire. By bouncing cannonballs off the frozen ground, they extended their artillery's range, inflicting devastating damage on Confederate ranks. Meanwhile, Colonel Eugene Carr's Union division made a heroic stand at Elkhorn Tavern, holding their ground despite relentless Confederate assaults. Carr, despite suffering multiple wounds, continued to rally his men, earning him the Medal of Honor for his bravery. As dawn broke on March 8th, Curtis prepared for a decisive strike. Reinforced by Colonel Franz Sigel's artillery, Union forces launched a massive counterattack. Confederate lines, stretched thin and leaderless, began to crumble. Elkhorn Tavern, which had changed hands multiple times, now became the focal point. Union forces, in a final push, drove Van Dorn's army into retreat. The Confederate commander, realizing his plan had failed, ordered a withdrawal. The battle was over, and the Union had secured a hard-fought victory. The cost was high. The Union suffered 1,384 casualties, while the Confederates lost around 2,000 men. But strategically, the victory was a turning point. Missouri remained in Union hands, and the Confederacy's hopes for control over the Mississippi Valley suffered a severe blow. The environmental toll was also significant. The battlefield's dense woodlands bore scars of artillery fire and trench warfare. Moreover, Pea Ridge was among the first battles where the telegraph played a crucial role in coordinating troop movements, signaling a new era of battlefield communication. For Van Dorn, defeat at Pea Ridge marked the beginning of his downfall. His failures in Arkansas led to his reassignment east of the Mississippi. In 1863, his controversial personal life caught up with him. He was murdered by a jealous husband, ending his once promising military career in scandal. Today, Pea Ridge National Military Park stands as a testament to this battle's significance. Archaeologists have uncovered musket balls, belt buckles, and personal artifacts that offer glimpses into the lives of soldiers who fought here. One remarkable find was a Confederate officer's belt buckle inscribed with a personal message, perhaps a keepsake from home, lost in the chaos of war. These relics bring history to life, reminding us that behind every battle statistic is a human story. The Battle of Pea Ridge wasn't just about territorial control, it was a microcosm of the Civil War itself. It was a battle of cultures, ideologies, and endurance. It demonstrated the importance of strategy, logistics, and leadership in determining the fate of nations. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful explorations. Have a historical event you'd like us to cover? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your suggestions. Remember, history isn't just the past. It's a living narrative that continues to shape our world. Until next time, keep exploring the echoes of history.